you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. We've got a lot to cover today, including a Q&A, so let's hop right into it. And first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was information and news about this year's 2018 San Diego Comic-Con exclusives for Hasbro Star Wars brand. So right now, Star Wars are the only exclusives from Hasbro that have been revealed. I know a lot of you are waiting to hear about the Marvel Legends. I don't have any inside information at this time on Marvel Legends. I do suspect that they will be announcing their Marvel stuff in the next few weeks, but I don't really have any idea what it'll be. If just taking a pure guess, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something maybe focusing around Captain Marvel, since she's got the big movie coming out next year. But that's just purely a guess on my part. I know some of you would love to see the remaining Black Order characters done, and while I would love to see that, I think if Hasbro tried to do those as a Comic-Con exclusive, there would be a lot of upset fans. So I don't really necessarily think that's the best way to release those characters, even though again I would really love to see those. But anyway, we've got several Star Wars ones, but for action figures, they're doing a set for 3 3/4 inch, the vintage collection. So for that, they're doing a 3-pack, and this is going to feature Dr. Aphra. I think that's how you say her name. She's from the Marvel Comics series, the more recent Marvel Comics series, not the old ones. And then with her two droid counterparts or partners, 000 and BT1. Now I know the Aphra figure is slated for a single card release, so basically that'll be one that you can get as a non-exclusive. But the other two, nothing that we've heard, though I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually release those on single card as well. But as it is, if you want it as a 3-pack and it is in the vintage collection type packaging, and that set is going to cost $50. Now, the second exclusive that was just announced today is part of their Black Series Centerpiece line. So these are the little diorama type pieces the figures that don't have any articulation or anything, but they have the bases, the diorama bases that light up and stuff. So this one is recreating the scene from Force Awakens with Rey and Kylo Ren when they lightsaber duel on the Starkiller base planet. And it said that there'll be steam that comes out of it and lights and stuff. So it sounds kind of cool. This particular line isn't a favorite of mine personally, just because the figures don't have any articulation or anything, but they do kind of make for cool display pieces. Now this set is a little bit on the hefty side as far as price. It's going to cost $109.99. And then the final Star Wars exclusive that they announced also today is the one I'm most excited about, and that is that we're finally getting a 6-inch Black Series Bespin Han Solo. So this is my favorite version of Han Solo, always has been. I just like this outfit the best. And with this Comic-Con exclusive version, it's going to come in this Minoc Hunt type packaging. So the packaging is made to look like the entrance of the Millennium Falcon, recreating the scene in Empire Strikes Back when the Falcon lands in the slug's mouth and they've got the Minocs and everything. So you've got Han Solo, he's going to have the breathing apparatus mask. He's going to come with an actual Minoc. And again, the packaging is going to be made to look like the entrance of the Millennium Falcon. He also comes with some little black stick or something, which I don't recall him having in the movie, so I'm not sure what that's really supposed to be. But still, overall, I'm most happy that this is, again, that we're getting Bespin Han Solo. Now, it's been rumored for some time that Han Solo, the Bespin Han Solo, is going to be coming in a regular release, so this almost definitely confirms that. It won't have the accessories like the Minoc and everything, I'm sure, but we will be getting a regular release somewhere down the road, probably towards the end of the year or something. Now this set's only going to cost $34.99, or basically $35. So I definitely plan on, this is the one I definitely plan on picking up so I can go in and get my Han Solo and everything. But again, if you just want the figure and such, you probably want to wait and get the, just the regular release, which will cost $20. Now, all of these are going to be sold at the Hasbro booth, which is 3329 this year. That's their booth number. And then there will be a limited number of these made available on their website, HasbroToyShop.com, after the convention, just like every year. So if you're not attending the convention, you will have a shot at these. And for most part, I don't see these selling out super quick. Last year, as I recall, I don't think the Star Wars stuff sold out terribly quickly, if at all. So, like I said, I think you'll probably have a decent shot at picking all these up if you want to add them to your collection, even if you're not attending the convention. Okay, now switching gears to the Mezco Toys front, and today they announced and started taking pre-orders for a new 112 Collective DC figure, specifically Batman Beyond. So we'd seen this figure at the conventions, and overall, I like this one. Again, I've said this before, I think, and I'm not a huge fan of this line just because I personally don't like the cloth outfits on most of the figures. Some I think look better than others, so I kind of pick and choose certain figures that I like. I've got the Dark Side figure on pre-order. I've got the Iron Man figure on pre-order. Both of those I think look incredible and can't wait to add to my collection. But I definitely don't pick up every one of these figures that get released. But with this Batman Beyond, I think I definitely am going to pick this one up. It is a Mezco Toys exclusive, so if you want to purchase this one and add it to your collection, you'll either have to get it off the Mezco website, and again, it is up for pre-order now. Now the figure is going to cost $85, and they're actually listing this as a Comic-Con exclusive, so even though it is you essentially can buy it on their website, just like with all their Mezco exclusive 112 collective figures. But that's kind of par for the course these days. Same with the Hasbro, like I said, you have these available for purchase online. It's become pretty standard that these companies make a certain number of these exclusives, which really doesn't make them exclusive to Comic-Con, but it's, I guess, the whole name thing that goes along with it. But anyway, this figure is going to cost $85, and looks like you can pick it up at their booth number 3445. I've gone on and pre-ordered mine, and the figure, it looks good. Even with the cloth outfit, I think it looks good. It's got the wings, which are removable. He comes with his futuristic batarangs. He's got some blast effects that you can attach to his feet because Batman Beyond does fly. So overall, I like the head sculpt with this one. So definitely, I'm a fan of Batman Beyond. So this is one I'm looking forward to adding to my collection. He'll also have multiple pairs of hands, like we always see with the figures. I have two different head sculpts. One that's more of a smiling or grinning type face sculpt, and then a more normal one. And then, of course, we'll have a figure stand like all the Mezco 112 collective figures do. Okay, and then finally for news, I just wanted to share some updated information on the Marvel Legend front. So most of the recent waves that I've been talking about in the last few weeks are now up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store. It is definitely looking like July and August are going to be very expensive months for you Marvel Legend collectors out there because there is a lot of stuff coming. So just to recap, we've got the X-Men wave with the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. That is slated with July/August release date. It looks like Hasbro Toy Shop has these up for pre-order as well, and they're currently listing them with a July 11th release date. Most e-tailers are saying, the end of July or August. So we'll have to see when these actually start shipping. Now, as I've mentioned in previous videos, this wave is actually showing up now in Canada. So if you live in Canada, you should check your Toys R Us. You guys still do have Toys R Us stores, and apparently they are getting this wave in stock now. But for those of us in the United States, definitely mid-July and possibly late July, even into August, we'll be seeing that wave. And then also now up for pre-order is the new Spider-Man wave, the one with the SP//DR Build-A-Figure. That wave is now up for pre-order. Big Bad Toy Store has it listed with a July release date. And that one, that's got the Doc Ock figure and the Cloak and Dagger. I talked about this last week in a video because these have started showing up in England already. So, everybody overseas are getting these waves before us in the United States, which again seems to be kind of par for the course. But again, for those of us here in the US, it looks like definitely we'll be seeing this wave next month. And Doc Ock remains to be the figure I'm most looking forward to with Cloak and Dagger. And maybe the Scarlet Spider, the updated Scarlet Spider, that one's kind of interesting for me as well. I like all of them, but those are the ones I'm probably most excited about. And then finally, the Venom wave is also looking like it's going to be released in July. It is now up for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store as well. That's the wave with the Venom and the Carnage, with the unmasked heads, the poison, the Spider Ham with the pork rind alternate head, the Scream figure, and the modern Typhoid Mary. We also today got official images for this wave. Now, again, because we saw in-hand images of these pop up last week in Thailand, we've seen these figures, we've seen the packaging. They do come in a special white packaging. I don't know why Venom gets white packaging, but that is what these are going to come in. So it is a little bit different from that regard from normal Marvel Legend packaging. And again, this wave is going to be released next month. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you guys, I talked about this last week, and that's what exactly are we supposed to do with that alternate pork rind head that comes with the Spider-Ham figure. So, of course, it'll fit on Spider-Ham, but that's not what it's really made for. Pork rind is basically the equivalent of Spider-Ham, the Venom equivalent of Spider-Ham. So, you can either put it on the Build-A-Figure, and I think technically that's what they made it for, because we got some images thanks to 99OHM99, who is an Instagram user, and he posted these images of the pork rind head. He's in Thailand, and he got these figures, and he posted images of the pork rind head on both the Venom Build-A-Figure for the wave and the regular Venom figure that's also being released in the wave. Now, scale-wise, I think it works best with the Venom figure, the regular Venom figure, because, while Pork Rind is bigger than Spider-Ham, he shouldn't be the size of a Build-A-Figure, a normal Build-A-Figure. So I think size, scale-wise, if you want something that fits better, it's probably better to go with that normal Venom figure. The one setback, and it's hard to tell 100% from these images, but it looks like the paint doesn't match exactly with that figure. It looks like that figure has a darker black, whereas the Build-A-Figure and this head sculpt look like have that blue kind of metallic tint to it. It'll work on both, so you can do it either way, but if you want like the paints to match up better, I think it's meant to go on the Build-A-Figure. Again, I can't say 100% from these images, but that's my impression looking at these. You can see that pork rind head has that kind of blue tint to it, just like the Build-A-Figure. So that's why I think it was actually made for the Build-A-Figure. I think the Build-A-Figure is a little too big for the pork rind character when you match him up with the Spider-Ham, but like I said, there you go. I'm going to put it on the regular Venom figure because after I pick up the one from this wave, I'm going to have essentially two of that mold, because I've got the first Venom they did, which essentially uses that same mold without the tentacle pieces coming out from the neck. I've got that one from the older Marvel Legend wave, and then I'll have the second one. So I'll definitely probably be using the pork rind head with one of those two figures, and then keeping the normal Venom head on the Build-A-Figure. Anyway, like I said, all that stuff is going to be coming out in July. Also, the Ultimate Riders Wolverine/Logan figure. We had seen an image pop up last week. We now have official images for that set. I know I've already seen reviews popping up online. I think some smaller e-tailers got that set in early. I heard somebody say Kokomo Toys had it in briefly. I think they're sold out now. But again, that's slated for July release, so that's when I really expect to start seeing that. That's again the Logan figure that has alternate hands with the claws, and also has the alternate patch head sculpt. If you read the old Wolverine comics, he used to have an alias named Patch, had the eye patch and everything, and so that's what that second head sculpt is based on, and also obviously comes with the motorcycle. So again, that is going to start seeing release in July. And then after that, we're going to start seeing the 10th anniversary Marvel Cinematic Universe figures. That's going to start hitting late July and August. And the second Deadpool wave, that's going to start hitting probably in August. So, just a ton of stuff. And then, of course, there's those 2-packs. There's the Luke Cage 2-pack that it's going to be a Walmart exclusive. We don't know exactly when that's going to be released. I do want to update you. I'd said how Robot Kingdom was going to start shipping that out basically this week, but they sent out an email just the other day updating, saying that that's been pushed back. I think they said August 1st. So they probably will get it before we see it here in the United States, but they're not going to get it quite as soon as they originally stated they were. But we've got that set coming in the near future, and then we've got the Target exclusive 2-packs with the Black Panther and the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure. That will probably start hitting in August, the August time frame. So we've got a lot of stuff coming in the next few months, and that's just with Marvel Legends. So definitely, I hope your pocketbook has rested up from the last batch, which really didn't come out too long ago. I mean, that second Avengers wave just hit, a month or so ago. So definitely, it hasn't been much of a grace period between waves for Marvel Legends, and we're going to get hammered with a ton of stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, I love seeing all the product, but at the same time, is there such a thing as too much? Is Hasbro putting out too much stuff? I know a lot of you have said, they put it out too soon, but the fact is, I mean, there's just so much stuff coming out now that it's really kind of hard to space it out much more than what they've been doing. So, I mean, are we at a point where they're just putting out too much Marvel Legends stuff? Is it too much to keep up with? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, so I am doing a Q&A portion this time. I've picked out a few questions from the last couple of news videos that we did. Now, the first question I have, actually, before I get into that, if you're not familiar with the Q&A section, this is where you guys ask me questions. If you want to ask a question for a future news video, just put it down below in the comment section and put Q&A next to it, and I will try and get to it in the next news video. But for today, the first one I've got is actually one I went over last week, but I've got some updated information, so I am adding it to this one as well. So this question comes from Murdoch723, and he's asking about the NECA Toys Batman vs. Predator and Batman vs. Alien and Superman 2-packs that they showed not this past Toy Fair, but the Toy Fair before that, so almost 2 years ago, and never got released, those DC and Predator and Alien 2-packs. So I saw NECA comment on this. Randy, who runs the NECA Twitter, he commented on this on Twitter the other day, and basically what he said was originally they were going to try and fit a couple of these in for Comic-Con exclusives, and as we know now, that didn't end up happening. They did the Turtles, the Predator, the Groot, the Chia Pet Groot, and such, but they did not do any of the Batman and Predator Alien 2-packs. So he basically said that they filled up their Comic-Con exclusives for this year and weren't able to squeeze those in. He didn't say if they would be released in the near future or if maybe they're going to hold them until next year. I don't know, but he did indicate that, those, he didn't say specifically, but did give indication, I think, that those will still come eventually. So if you're wanting to get those, there is still hope for them. And while we're on the subject of NECA and San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, I know a lot of you were upset how quickly those turtle sets sold out. It's not really a surprise if you've watched the last couple years with those turtle sets that they do as Comic-Con exclusives. Unfortunately, those are in very high demand, but they really, due to licensing issues and stuff with other companies, this is the only way they can issue them. And I'm guessing that they probably can only limit a certain number or issue a certain number of them. So, some of you might be asking, well, why do they do so little of them that sell out that quickly? And it may be, I don't know this for sure, but it may be that just because that's what they're allowed to do. But again, it does definitely, it is irritating. I know from a collector standpoint, it can be irritating. Just know, try and not take your anger out so much on NECA. The choice is they don't do them at all, which I know I've seen some of you say, well, that's what I would prefer, but you've got to be honest. That's pretty selfish to say, well, if I can't get them, nobody should have them. So I don't think it's fair to say that. And but unfortunately, just to legal reasons and licensing issues and everything, this is the only way they can really do these. So have to take it as you can get it, I guess. Okay, so next question comes from CJ Borg 125, and he asks, what's your favorite action figure line? So right now, I would have to say Marvel Legends in general is my favorite line. I've got multiple lines, and I've said this before, but the main lines, which are the ones I kind of grew up on, are Transformers, G1 Transformers, GI Joe, Star Wars, and Marvel stuff. A little bit later on, and then even later, DC stuff. So those are my favorites, but I always have a place for GI Joe, Star Wars, and Transformers, those three, because they're what I grew up on. And then Marvel, I pretty much started collecting in high school with the original Toy Biz 5-inch figures and stuff. Which actually kind of takes me into my next question, which comes from, sorry if I'm butchering this name, Perzival 190. And his question is, or their question is, why did you start collecting Marvel Legends? So again, in high school, I guess really it's more of the original Batman movie got me into comic book figures. Again, by Toy Biz. Believe it or not, Toy Biz actually did some DC figures at one time. They did those based on the original Michael Keaton Batman movie. They did some 5-inch figures, and I think that was probably my first comic book based figure was the Batman. I really love that Batman. I didn't just collect action figure. I collected like all kinds of stuff for that original Batman, and that really kind of got me into modern, what I guess you can consider modern day collecting as far as like action figures and stuff. I collected comics and stuff before that, but it was really probably those Toy Biz Batman movie figures that kind of started to get me the ball rolling. And then later, short time later, they started doing the Marvel figures, and I remember picking up the very first wave of those when they came out in stores, and that's what really got me into collecting action figures overall. And from there, it just kind of grew. Then the Spider-Man figures, which was kind of the precursor to Marvel Legends, came out, the 6-inch Spider-Man figures, so I bought those. Then the first wave of Marvel Legends came out, and I ended up buying those. And then at that time, I had started running the website, Toy News International, which back then was originally called American Dream Comics and Collectibles. But I was doing the whole Toy News stuff at that point. And after that first wave, Toy Biz actually started sending me figures for to review and take photos of and stuff for the websites, and that really probably hooked me even more so. But I've always been a huge fan of the Marvel figures. When I started collecting the Toy Biz 5-inch figures, I actually went back and started trying to pick up the Secret Wars figures that Mattel did. I didn't collect those when they actually came out, but I could still find some of those on the discount shelves and stuff. So I did pick up some of those. I've got the Captain America figure here over on my wall. And one of you asked in one of the Q&As, what my favorite character is, which again, I've said before. I don't know. This chair might be a giveaway that I showed you guys last week, or the shield on the wall. But Captain America is my favorite comic book character, always has been, with U.S. Agent being a close second. Okay, so I rambled on enough about that. Final question for this week comes from Dean Alex Fiera. Sorry if I mispronounced the last name there. He asked, do you think there will be a movie Deadpool and John Wick action figure from Diamond Select Toys? So yes, on the John Wick, there will definitely be a 7-inch John Wick figure. They announced it at Toy Fair. We've yet to see it. They showed it to the media at Toy Fair, but they wouldn't allow pictures, and they've not yet released any images or shown it off at any conventions. But there is definitely a 7-inch John Wick action figure coming from Diamond Select Toys. As far as Deadpool, a movie Deadpool, no, I don't think there's any chance that they'll do a movie Deadpool. If there were, I'm sure we would have heard about it. But I also think there's still, until things are actually hammered out between 20th Century Fox and Disney, and there are still indications, I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but there are still indications that is not necessarily a done deal. So, Comcast keeps trying to throw a monkey wrench into those plans. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. But until it does actually happen, I don't really expect anything major to happen on, seeing movie figures based on 20th Century Fox properties, including Deadpool. Okay, so that's it for this week. Like I said, if you've got a question you want to try and ask me, then put it in the comment section down below. Put Q&A next to it, and I will try and get to it in the next video. We are getting closer and closer to San Diego Comic-Con, so definitely, a lot of answers will probably be revealed. A lot of you have been asking, do you think I'll see this figure or I'll see this figure? And truth is, I really don't know, but, in about a month, Comic-Con starts, I believe, July 18th is the first day to the 22nd. And of course, I will be there providing full coverage on all the different websites and here on YouTube as well. So hope you guys tune in for that. And I should be starting my reviews of the new X-Men Marvel Legend Wave either at the end of this week or early next week. So I do hope you guys tune in for that. I've also got the new Toy Box Marvel Doctor Strange figure, which I'm probably going to get up a review of tomorrow. I'm looking at. So if you like those toy box figures, I've also got the Star-Lord figure, but the Doctor Strange one I definitely wanted to pick up because I thought it was pretty cool. So hopefully you'll check that out as well. But as always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about everything we talked about today. I really love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you're so inclined, please like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Just hit that button down below. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.